Hi class, in this video I am going to go over the syllabus and show you the best way to navigate the course. So the first thing you want to do is when you are on our home page, you want to go ahead and read the syllabus. You can access the syllabus by clicking on the word syllabus, or you can go ahead and click on the magnifying glass and it will show you a preview of the file. So here you'll see the syllabus. Obviously there's a lot of information, so I'm not going to go over the entire syllabus, but I do want to point out some things that I feel are important. For example, one of the most important things that I do want to share is how you can go ahead and get in touch with me. So obviously I'm not in my office because nobody is on campus, but my office phone number is this right here. And basically, if you call that number and you leave a voicemail, the voicemail gets emailed to me, so I can still go ahead and check who called and return your messages if needed. However, the best way to contact me is through email, and you can email me at natalie@nmsu.edu or through the Canvas inbox. Those are the two best ways to contact me. But like I said, if you really need to talk to me over the phone or anything like that, you can call my office number, and those calls get forwarded to me. The other important thing that I wanted to touch on are the textbooks. So we're going to be using two textbooks. Now, the good news is that these books are entirely free. You don't have to purchase a book for this class, but depends how you look at it. It could be a pro or it could be a con, is that these books are entirely online. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. For instance, I prefer to read things in physical form. I don't like to read online, but if it saves me money, obviously I'm willing to read things online. But most of these chapters that we read from these books serve as supplemental information, so it's not necessarily that you can't do the assignments without these books. They mostly provide information to help you understand a concept better, or to help you, like I said, understand an assignment better, things like that. So you can go ahead and look at the student learning outcomes on your own and also the course competencies. One of the things that I do have to say is that as much as we try to compress an entire semester into a summer class, it's just not possible. So these are the assignments. It is a bit shortened version from a typical English 111, but we are going to have 2 essays, each one worth 100 points. We're going to have 6 writing exercises, each one 20 points, 5 discussion questions, quizzes that are worth 60 points. We have 7 quizzes, so that totals about 60 points. We're also going to have an APA pre-quiz and an APA exam. The attendance is 20 points and the portfolio is worth 150 points. So that's basically what we're going to be doing for the next 6 weeks. And your final grade is averaged by adding up all of the points and then dividing them up by 710, which is the possible points that you can get from this class. So I do have to say that to pass this course, you do have to attend and participate. You have to complete all assignments and also submit a passing portfolio. And one of the things that has changed is that the department, typically they would say that you needed a 70 or higher in your APA exam. Now, we are still sort of adhering to that, but not really because of the circumstances that are going on in the world. So, if you fail the APA exam, you don't necessarily fail the class, but it does affect your grade. So, I strongly encourage you to try to pass it with a 70 or higher. So, moving on, I want to talk briefly about the assignments. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have 2 essays. Make sure that you read the instructions for each one. We have 6 writing exercises. The instructions are listed for each writing exercise. Writing exercises are due on Sundays by 11:59 p.m. So please make sure that you adhere to that. I don't accept late work, especially in the summer. It's very important that we don't fall behind. So make sure that you make plans to submit things on time. And I should mention though that for this first week, the due dates are a little bit different. Like for example, writing exercise number 1 is due on July 7th, I believe, because it's a short week. So after the first week, everything will go back to its regular due dates. Like, for example, the writing exercises are due on Sundays, the quizzes and discussion questions are due on Saturdays. So like I said, just this first week, I gave you a little bit more time because it's a short week, but starting week 2, everything goes back to regular scheduled due date. So let's talk a little bit about the discussion questions. The discussion questions are basically meant for you to interact with your classmates. So because of that, I ask that you respond twice. The first response should be submitted by Thursday, 11:59 p.m., and it should be replying to the original post that I posted. So you're going to see a question, and your first post should be in response to that question that I posted, and it should be submitted by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Then you have until Saturday, 11:59 p.m. to reply to a classmate. So you only have to submit 2 posts, one responding to the original post and one responding to a classmate. Obviously, you can reply to more people. It's up to you how much you want to interact. You don't have to. Also, you don't get extra points, but sometimes I think it makes class a little bit more interesting if you interact more with your fellow classmates. Now, one thing I should point out is that the discussion does not close until Saturday. So I've had cases where students end up submitting both discussion posts on Saturday, 11 p.m. Now, that's not what we want, because there are people who are trying to finish the discussion assignment early, but they have nobody to respond to because nobody has posted anything. So in order to avoid that, that is why I have the first post due by Thursday. Now, like I said, the assignment remains open until Saturday. So if you don't submit your first post by Thursday, you still get the full points for your discussion post, but I take a point off of participation and attendance, okay? Because if you're submitting both of your posts on Saturday at 11:58, you didn't really participate throughout the week, so that's why I take off a point from your participation and attendance grade. So just keep that in mind, that if you are going to be submitting both of your posts on Saturday right before they're due, it is going to affect your participation grade. So just try to submit your first post by Thursday and then your second post by Saturday. However, like I said, because I know it's a summer class, if you want to submit both of your posts on Thursday or Friday, you can, as long as, like I said, your first post is by Thursday and your second post is by Saturday. So I repeated that plenty of times, so I hope that you guys don't forget, because in the regular semesters, I always have students who, like, during the 3rd or 4th week, they end up forgetting that they're supposed to submit it by Thursday, and I have to remind them. So the quizzes are due on Saturdays, and they are mostly short quizzes. They are quizzes over modules or quizzes over some of the reading, some of the PowerPoints. So each quiz is titled after what it is over. So like if it says Writing Tools Module Quiz, that means that quiz is over the Writing Tools module. If it says Thesis Statement Quiz, it means it's over the Thesis Statement PowerPoint. So you get the gist of it. They're usually timed about 35 to 45 minutes depending, and it's not a lot of questions. I do suggest that you review the material before you take the quiz, just because the way the quizzes are timed, it doesn't give you a lot of time to be looking up answers and going through the entire module and things like that. I'm not saying you have to memorize the information, but you do want to go ahead and kind of review it so that you're prepared for the quiz. So we move on to classroom management. Obviously, this class is online. It was always designed to be online. So what that means is that it is conducted through Canvas. So make sure that you are familiar with Canvas. Make sure that you know how to use it. And also, please make sure that you have access to a reliable Wi-Fi connection. I do want to make sure that we understand that computer malfunctions, Wi-Fi or internet connections are not valid excuses. So please don't think, oh, my internet was not working, she'll give me another 2 days to turn it in. No, it doesn't work that way. So Please give yourself plenty of time. Like if something is due at 11:59, don't try submitting at 11:58 and then your internet goes down, because we all know that our internet stops working the moment we really need it. So try to finish things maybe like at 7, 8 p.m. That way you have enough time to submit it. If something goes wrong, you still have a few hours to try and fix it. If by 10 p.m., 11 p.m., you haven't fixed the issue, then you can go ahead and email me and we can kind of try to figure out what to do. But please don't just assume like, oh, my internet was not working, she'll excuse me, because that's not the way it works, especially for summer. I can't clarify that enough, that, you know, you don't want to fall behind in a summer class because there's just a lot of assignments that are due each week. So you want to make sure that you stay on top of things. So make sure that your Wi-Fi is working, or try to make sure that you have access. I know at DACC, what they're doing is sometimes you can go to a parking lot and you can access the internet through there. I know they are doing it at the Espina, East Mesa, and Gadsden campuses. So all you have to do is park in the parking lot and you'll be able to use the internet. So that's better than going to a public place, I think. And the other thing that I do want to mention is make sure you have access to a reliable computer, because sometimes we cannot submit assignments through our phone. It's a little bit complicated and sometimes they don't go through, or the formatting is off. So try to make sure that you submit your assignments through a computer. I've had students who submit quizzes through a phone, and for some reason the quiz is submitted but it's blank, like none of their answers were recorded. So as I mentioned earlier, I don't accept late work, and the reason for that is because it becomes a habit and it just throws everyone off, even me myself included, because, you know, I grade everything that's submitted. So if you submit something late, I might ask you to submit it through email, and I won't get to it till I've graded everything else, which means that your assignment won't be graded until like a week or 2 weeks after I've graded everything else. So it just becomes an issue. So I think it's best to just try to submit everything on time. Also, please do not email me assignments, because sometimes people email me an assignment and I don't know what it is or why it was submitted through email. So if you do have some sort of emergency or issue, email me first. That way I can tell you how to submit it, because sometimes I might tell you I'll open up the assignment for you, or sometimes I'll tell you to email me the assignment. So please don't just like email me stuff. Make sure that you email me first and tell me what the situation is. That way I can go ahead and either open up the assignment, or I can go ahead and tell you to email it to me, or I can go ahead and give you a link or something. So if you do have some sort of emergency or any type of issue, email me first, and then I can go ahead and make accommodations. And like I said, I don't accept late work, but that doesn't mean that I'm not understanding or flexible. So if there is a serious issue, of course I am willing to work with you. But if you're just not submitting assignments because you forgot or because you have other classes, that's not a valid excuse. But if it's something that is serious, if it's something that's affecting your mental health, or you know, if it's something that is affecting your physical health, or you have some sort of family commitment, obviously I'll be understanding and we can work something out. But, you know, don't just tell me, can you submit something late because you forgot. It has to be a valid reason that I will let you submit something late. So lastly, when it comes to courtesy, please make sure that you're respectful of everyone here. Please make sure that you remain open to different ideas. We do talk about arguments. It is an English class, which means that not everybody is going to agree with each other, and that's fine. I think that's what makes learning fun, and also that's how we learn, by listening to other opinions. However, we need to make sure that we are respectful whenever we convey those ideas. So just make sure that you are aware of the setting you are in, which is an academic setting. So just make sure that you are respectful to everyone and considerate. Here we have the documentation exam, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. And just to clarify, the documentation exam, you are expected to cite in text and also reference list citations. And I know this might not make sense right now, but that's the whole point of English 111. English 111 is where you will learn how to do APA. So this talks a little bit more about the portfolio, which you can go ahead and read, and there's also instructions for the portfolio. I also want to mention that for each assignment, I also have a video attached with the instructions that explain the instructions. So make sure that you read the instructions and you watch the video as well. So here we have important dates, and then here we have our tentative schedule. I went ahead and I separated each one by week to try to make it easier for you guys so that you guys could kind of see what's due each week, and hopefully try to keep us on track and organized. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, now that we've gone over the syllabus, I'm going to show you how to navigate the course. So this is our homepage, and as you can see on our homepage, I have the syllabus, the DACC syllabus supplement, and I also have some pandemic information resources. Then I'm also going to have this video attached on the homepage, and then I have some links to the modules, that way it takes you directly there, and then I have links to the textbook. So if you look at the syllabus and it says volume 1, then you can just click on volume 1 and it'll open it up for you as a PDF file. So you just download the book. So here I have both volumes available. All you have to do is click on them. But the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on the Getting Started module. So this module is basically going to tell you information about our course. And the first thing you want to do is you want to read the introduction to the course, which is read first, right? So this is actually going to look a little bit different for you because this is the video that I'm currently recording. So instead of separating it into two videos, I'm putting it all into one video. So make sure you obviously watch this video first. And then I go ahead and talk a little bit about my modes of communication. So basically, I will try to reply to you within 24 to 48 hours. I do have my emails set to my phone, so I do see them pretty much every day. Anytime somebody emails me, I get a notification. However, sometimes I don't receive emails, or sometimes it might go to clutter. So if I don't reply to you, please don't think that I'm just ignoring you. Go ahead and email me again or send me a reminder, because sometimes either the email gets lost or I just didn't receive it. So if it's been more than 48 hours, you can go ahead and email me again or send me a reminder. And most of the time, actually every Monday, every week, I'm going to be posting announcements. So basically what the announcements are is they let you know what is going on for that week. So let me show you right here. So if we click on announcements, I already posted one announcement for this week, and it basically just gives you information about what's going on this week, and it just lets you know a little bit about the course. It tells you what to do to read the syllabus and also go over the Getting Started module, and it outlines which assignments are due this week. So that's something I do every Monday. I call them the week ahead announcement. So please make sure that you check your announcements every Monday. Also, please make sure that you set your notifications so that you get notified whenever there is a new announcement. So I do these every Monday. However, if things come up or if something happens with the course, like there's a glitch or Canvas is down or anything like that, I will send an announcement updating you on the information in case I have to extend a deadline or anything like that. You know, if there's like any issues or any extra credit opportunities, I go ahead and I post them under announcements. So very, very important that you go ahead and read announcements every week. So besides that, let's go ahead and go back to our Read First Introduction to the Course page. So other than that, like I said, besides announcements and email, our only other form of communication is through Zoom. And that is if you want to meet in person. So if you want to meet, sorry, not person, I mean virtually. So if you wanted to have office hours virtually or talk to me virtually in person, you can go ahead and email me and we can go ahead and schedule a Zoom meeting as well. So here we have the learning outcomes and the course competencies. When it comes to grading, it takes me about 5 to 10 days to grade something. Now, granted, I do teach writing classes, so as you can imagine, I have to grade a lot of essays. I am teaching 2 summer classes, so I have about 40 44 students, I believe, for a little bit more than 44. So that's a lot of essays to read, and that's a lot of assignments to read. So sometimes it might take me a little bit more than the 5 to 10 days to read something. But if I'm a little bit behind on grading, I'll go ahead and I'll update you under the announcements. But typically it takes me about 5 to 10 days to grade something. The quizzes, a lot of the quizzes, they are graded immediately. However, there are some that I need to go back and check them myself. So if that happens, obviously I'll go back and I'll grade them so you can get your complete grade. Something else that I do want to mention that is very important is that you view your feedback. I provide written feedback, and I also fill out the rubric for major assignments. So it's important that you read the feedback. That way you know how you can improve, or you know why your grade was a specific grade. So you can definitely go ahead and look at that handout. And I also touched on the topic of feedback in this video. So this video shows you how to submit an assignment through Canvas, and it also shows you how to view your feedback. This other video shows you how to access your originality score on Turnitin. For the major essays, when you submit your essay, it's going to be reviewed by Turnitin. So it lets you know what percentage of it is plagiarized, if any percentage is plagiarized at all. So this is not meant to catch you plagiarizing. This is meant to help you. So what I suggest you do is you submit the essay a few days earlier, and you go ahead and you access your originality report, and then you check if there are any instances where your writing resembles something very closely to the internet. Because the Turnitin software tells you. Like when you watch this video, it'll show you how to access your originality score, and it tells you this was taken from this website. So the whole point of this is so that you can look at that report and say, okay, I need to fix this, this, and that. And then you can go ahead and fix it and then resubmit the essay by the due date. So like I said, it's better if you submit it a few days earlier. That way you can get your report, fix any issues that might have come up, and then resubmit it for a final time. But I don't want people to get scared and think like, oh, she's trying to catch us. No, it's mostly because a lot of people sometimes they don't know they plagiarized, and they don't find out until the teacher grades it. So this way you kind of know if there was something that you didn't cite correctly. Now, I should mention that this software, even though I have it set up to not count reference page or quotes, sometimes it still does. So if you look at your report and you see that everything is quoted correctly and everything is cited correctly, then obviously you don't have to worry about it. But if you do look at some things and you're like, okay, my score is really high, then there are things you need to fix. And typically a good score is anything from like 0% to maybe like 20-25%. Anything higher than that is something that you need to revise, just to make sure that you use more of your own wording. As far as extra credit, I usually give extra credit for attending college events and workshops, but obviously we don't have any of those going on right now. Sometimes they do workshops, they do virtual workshops. So if they organize any of those, I will go ahead and let you know through announcements. But you can get extra credit by submitting one of your essays. So basically the classical argument, the visual analysis, and the portfolio. You can submit those to the Academic Readiness Center for online tutoring. And if you fill out the summary of tutoring form, you get 5 points extra credit on that assignment. Now, I also have an extra credit assignment that I created where you can get 10 points extra credit. Extra credit is not mandatory, it's optional, so it's up to you if you want to go through online tutoring or complete that extra credit assignment. However, be realistic. You can only get up to 35 points extra credit in this class, and an essay is worth 100 points. So if you miss an essay, extra credit is not going to completely save your grade. So extra credit is mostly meant to help you. Like if you have a 79, it'll help you get to a B. But it's not really meant to save your grade if you missed a lot of assignments. So please be aware of that and try to not miss assignments, because they can't be made up. So once you miss an assignment, like I said, unless there's like a valid excuse or a valid reason for it, it won't be able to be made up. Regarding the formatting of essays, they are all done in APA style. We are still using the 6th edition, and they should be in 12-point Times New Roman or Calibri 11-point, and they should also be double-spaced. And I don't require a cover page, but if you include one, obviously, I don't mind. And I know that for a lot of you, APA is probably new, but it is something that we are going to go over in this class. So if you're not familiar with Canvas, I do provide information on links for frequently asked questions, and they also have online training for Canvas, so you can go ahead and access that if you'd like to sign up for online training. Basically what that does is it shows you how to navigate Canvas a little bit better. Also here I have some links to activate and how to use your Zoom account in Canvas. I also have some guidelines for netiquette, and basically what this is, it means that these are some guidelines that you should adhere to whenever you are interacting or communicating with other students. And make sure that you read these because this is relevant to your discussion posts. So you want to make sure that you don't badmouth or offend anyone or use discriminatory language or anything like that, because the discussion post should be written in standard academic English as well. So you don't want to use any slang or anything like that. Lastly, we have the books. I have them linked here again in case you forget. So they are linked in the home page. They are also linked right here in this introductory course page. Finally, to get started, what you want to do is read the syllabus, read the Getting Started module, and the discussion introductions. That's our first discussion. You have to introduce yourself. So after that first page, I do have a link to how to download Office 365 for free. Because you are an NMSU student, you automatically get Office 365, and I strongly suggest that you download it if you don't have Microsoft Word. With Office 365, you get PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, you also get Excel, I think you get Publisher, and you know, I bought a computer like 2 years ago, and then I recently bought another computer about a month ago, and I have Office 365 downloaded on both of them. Because initially I thought, oh, I'll just buy Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office Suite, but it's really expensive. So what I did was I just downloaded Office 365 on both of them, and that's what I use, and I can save them to my laptop, and it works very, very well. So I recommend that you do that. I also recommend that you set your notifications on Canvas on your phone, and basically what this does is your phone will notify you anytime grades are posted, or anytime there's a new discussion post, or anytime there's a new announcement. So notifications are a really great way to stay up to date with the course. So I'm going to go back to modules, and obviously I have some pandemic resources here in this module, and you want to go ahead and make sure that you review this module completely. I also have a general help and question forum, and basically what that is, it's a discussion thread where you can ask general questions about the class. So if you don't remember where a file is located, or you don't remember a specific thing about an assignment, or you have a question about DACC that you feel other students might also have, you can go ahead and post it here, and I can answer or other people can answer. However, please make sure that you do not post anything personal or any questions that are about you, because for privacy reasons, anything about your grade or your assignment or anything like that, it's better if you email me so that I can reply to you and only you. So just make sure that you remember that this everybody can see. So don't post anything personal or anything private. Just post any general questions that you have and you think other people might have. So moving on with the modules, it's best if you find information through the modules. I don't recommend going through files because there's a lot of files, it'll get lost. So after the Getting Started module, I do have the assignments module, and this module breaks down every single assignment by week. So basically this tells you everything that's due in week 1 everything that's due in week 2, everything that's due in week 3, week 4, week 5, and then of course week 6. And then we have the writing tools module, rhetorical devices, APA, fallacies. This is the module that you want to refer to when you're writing your first essay. So definitely review that module because I have a lot of resources there for you. And then this is the module you want to review for your second essay, and this is the module you want to review for your third essay. So, like I mentioned before, the best way to navigate the course is through modules. And if you want to go to a specific module, all you have to do is click on one of the links in our homepage. So this concludes the video for the syllabus and how to navigate the course. I sort of combined 2 videos into one. That's why this video is so long. But please let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything that I didn't address and you have a question about, please email me and I will be glad to answer your question. Also, if there's anything that's not clear, please don't hesitate to ask me, especially with a summer class. We don't want to fall behind or anything like that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward to working with all of you. So have a great semester.